Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video here I have created one of the guard and I just name it as the admin stateful guards, right? So that is one of the interface. So that is our main interface for the default user. So right now I want to add it for our admin. So here friend, make that sure you updated that namespace. Right now that is our spaces in the guards, right? That means that is in our app. So here you have to update that namespace, so that will be in our app, and with the app, and that is our guards folder. Okay, that is our guards folder. So in particular that area I have created one of the guards and admin stateful guards. So now make that sure you update as a admin and then stateful guards. Perfect. And it will be extended our main guard. You can see that is actually our main guard, right? So here we successfully did that work. So right now here we don't need to do anything. Make that sure you updated that namespace and the interface name. So right now I close it. So that is our stateful guard. So here also we don't need this. That is actually the stateful, and that is our namespace for our main one. That means the default one. We just copy everything from to the main one, and then we will create another one for our admin actually. Okay. And now that is our authenticated session. And into the authenticated session, as I told you friend, there is our authenticated session on the controller. So that is actually the file location into the Laravel, the multi, that means the vendor, the Laravel folder, the 45, right? So now that is our session. So I want to copy this controller. I copy everything from here, and now I have already created one of the controller in our controller area. That means in our HTTP, there is a controller, there is an admin controller. So now I want to update it. Here only we have to update that namespace and then the class. Okay, so better I want to paste it on here. Okay, so now I want to update that namespace. So that will be as a namespace. I want to update it, that namespace. And then also there is a controller that will be as an admin controller, not this one. That will be as an admin controller. Perfect. So right now we don't need this. I remove it. Okay. So here I remove it. So that will be our namespace, and then our class name, our admin controller. It will be extended our default controller as a controller, and that is our protected by the card. Perfect. So friend, here we have to create all the things. That means in our controller here we have to create some of the method for logging. Okay. That means the admin logging. So that is the step. I hope you enjoyed. So that is a step-by-step process you have to follow. So right now we don't need this. I close it, and that is our web. So now I want to work with this admin controller. So into the admin controller I want to create one of the method. Okay, so here I want to declare one of the method. After that a constructor, that is our guard, is now loaded. So here I want to create one of the methods. So before creating this method, I want to update our web route. If you go to that web route, so that is our default one, right? So this default one for our user. So now I want to add another one for our admin. So here I want to update it this functionality. That means I updated this route. So if you want to do that work better, first of all I want to create one of the group. That means the route group. So that is our route, and then the group. Okay, the route group, and into the route group area, first of all I want to add one of the prefix. Okay, I want to add one of the prefix. So that will be another prefix, and prefix will be as a admin. I name it as a admin. And also here for this I have to create one of the middleware. So I will create these things later. So right now I want to add one of the middleware. Okay, I name it one of the middleware, and into the middleware here I want to name it. So I want to add that name. Name will be as a admin dot admin. Okay, so here I want to create this type on the middleware, and after that I want to add that function. So that will be as a function. So our function name. So make that sure add that semicolon. So here I created the group. So into the group area I create one of the route. One will be as a get route. That means get method, and to the get method I want to load, that will be as a slash logging, right? So by default that is actually the logging. So I also want to add that for the admin also, it will be as a admin slash login. So now I want to name it as a get logging, and into the get logging area in Laravel 8, I think you already know what exactly the things you have to do. Here I want to add one of our method, that means our controller. So I have already created on the controller as admin controller. So right now, first of all, that is our admin controller. I have to use it on here. So if you want to use this admin controller, So first of all, we have to load this admin controller, right? So here we have to use it. So now I want to use it. So that is our use, and then app, and then the HTTP, and then the HTTP, and then the controllers, right? So that is actually the controllers folder, and into the controllers folder I have created one of the controller as an admin controller, right? So here I have created this one. I hope it's very much clear to you. So now we can actually use this admin controller, and with the admin controller I want to create one of the method. So here after that I want to create one of the method as a logging form, and then form. Okay, I name it as a logging form method. So here I created one, and also I want to add another one for the store, because here also you have to add some of the validation. That means after that logging, when you put that appropriate admin username and the password. So I have already insert some settings, some of the data, so they have some of the email address, and also they have some of the password. So we will need also one of the store method. So for the reasons here I copy it. Okay, copy it, and now I paste it, so it will be as the same name as a logging. So now I want to insert the data. So that means from here I want to insert it. So that will be as a post method in our admin controller. I want to access that store method. Okay, that will be access that store method. And now here I put that name. I name this route. I name this route as a admin.logging. Okay, so this type of one of the name I want to add. And that is our default one. So this I want to do, and to create two things I want to access with the same dashboard. So I copy it. Everything will be very clear to you why I'm actually using it. So here there is a two one. So one for I want to create into the schema, area I want to add another one for the admin. So, and also it will be verified it, and it will be added on the slash as a admin slash and then dashboard. Okay, so it will be as a admin slash dashboard, and then functions return view with the same dashboard either. Then you can also load another one for the different pages, right? That means if you want to add the different template for the admin, then you can use it. That means here into the return view area you have to change the page name. So right now by default everything I want to use it into the same page. That means in our route, that is our default one. Sorry, not the route, the resources, and that is our dashboard. So as I told you friend, if you want to load one of the default page, that means the default theme for admin, then you can just simply redirect it from to this position. So that will be for our admin, and here also you can return it with the different for the user. Okay, so that will be for the user. And as I told you, by default this user means actually is using that web. So right now I want to do better name it as a web. So that will be as a web. As I told you friend, if you go to that our config, into the config, if you go to that auth, you can see by default that is actually guard as a web, right? So by default actually is using as a this web. So right now I want to manage it as a web, and then the admin. So that will be as a web guard, and then which will be verified with the dashboard functionality will be the just like same, and return view one of the dashboard. That means right now I want to pass it to a specific this dashboard. Okay, that means this page. So also as I told you, for the user, if you want to load another template, then you can add this template, and here you have to return view this page. Okay, right now I am actually using both of these as the same. So one will be for the web, another will be for our admin. So now I want to create our this method. That means this method in our admin controller. So now go to our admin controller, into the admin controller. After this constructor, here I want to create one of the method as a public, and then function, and then our method name as a logging form. So that will be our method. So here simply I return one of the view page. That means I return one of the view, return view. I return view one of the auth page. That means the auth, and to the auth here, if you go, you can see there is a view, there is a auth folder. Into the auth folder, that is the logging. Okay, so here I want to use it. So that is our logging. So I name it as a logging, that means the logging, that is the auth folder, and then logging page. And with the logging page here I want to pass our guards. So that will be the different guards, that will be our admin guards, right? I have already created one of the guard for the admin. So our guard will be as a admin. Okay, I want to use that admin guard. right friend? So now we have to update this logging. Like if you go to our auth folder, into the auth folder, there is a logging blade. So into the logging blade, here you can see that is our same as the email at the password. So I also want to use that same thing. So for the reasons here, we have to update it that route. That means into this action area, we have to declare that guards. That means when it will be as a admin, then it will be using as an admin dashboard, rather than it will be using the default one. So here into the action area, we have to set it. So right now I remove it. So here I want to add better before this. Okay, before this I want to add as is set. Okay, I want to set it. It said our what? It said our guard, right? So here I'm using that guard. So it said our guard. I copy it, so that will be as a guard. So is this guard, I want to add that questions mark and our URL. Our URL will be 2. So one will be with this guard. I want to concrete it. I want to concrete with the /logging. So it will be as a /logging, and then also another one will be our this route logging. Okay, that will be for our ad. This will be check it there's a /logging or not. So when it will be as a /logging, that means that will be as our admin guard. So here it will be as admin. So it will be just like actually like that is actually the logging, right? And all that will be perfectly work. So this one is for our this route action will be work for our this route logging, and rather than if you add that another guard as a admin, so I have already created one of the guard for the admin. So when you use that this guard, so that is the guard I have actually added. So that is actually our guard and then /logging. Okay, that means that will be as a admin. That means our guard name and then / our logging. So that both of this it will be set it. Okay, so here I simply updated that part. I hope friend it's very much clear to you. Perfect. So here we successfully complete that part, and now our next step will be we have to support our all that guards. Like here you can see that is actually the redacted two-factor authentication. That is our attempt to authenticated. So these two of this also using our stateful guard. That means here there is also using that our you can see that is actually stateful guard. So now I want to update this stateful guard. That means here if you go, that means that is actually one of the file guard, that is a redirect to factory. So here if you want to find out, so here we have to add both of this. We have to add that redact and that authenticated to authenticate, attempt to authenticate. We have to add both of these in our this action, and into the 45 here we have to add it. Okay, so first of all I want to find out this file. So if you want to find out this file, so that will be right now I minimize it. So here I minimize it. So that is into the vendor. If you go to that vendor, if you go to that Laravel, so here that is actually the Laravel. You can see there is a Laravel. So if you go to that Laravel, go to that 45, and there is a SRC, that's the action, and here you can see that is the attempt to authenticate, and also there is another one as it that is actually the redact to factory authentication. So that is actually two of this file class, right? So here you can see that is actually the showing as a redact and then actions that is redacted to factories into the appropriate this location. So that is actually the location. So right now I want to create two of this file. So if you go to that appropriate file location folder, so I want to open it. So here you can see that is actually the file. So right now I want to copy it. So from the factory of 45, the SRC and the actions, I copy attempt to authenticate, and also I copy the redact to factor authenticate. I copy both of this, and now go to our project directory. So that is our project directory. Go to that our app, and that is our action, and that is our 45, and here I simply paste both of these. Okay friend, so make that sure you update both of these. So now I want to update it that namespace. So here right now I save all. So here I remove it. So if you now go to our actions, and the actions, there is a 45, there is an attempt to authenticate. So before that was actually Laravel 45 actions. Right now our namespace is become changed. So now we have to update it. So that is in our app. So into this app, and then our actions. right? That is our actions folder. So make that your spelling is correct. That means the app and then our actions folder, and that is our 45. So here we have to update it, that namespace, and then the 45. Okay, that will be as a 45. Perfect. And also it's using that stateful guards. Perfect. There is validation. Perfect. There is a guard and there are limits. So also that is our attempt to authenticate guards. So now it should be perfectly getting this data, and then the guards is limited. Everything will be just like that same. Okay, so here everything will be just same. So here you don't need to do anything. So that is our remember, and then authentication fail. Okay, so that is our remember, authentication fail. Perfect. And also we have to update our another one. I click as a save all. So now that is another one as a redirect to factor. So also here we have to update our namespace. So for the redirect to factory authentication, there is a namespace. So namespace will be just like same. So that will be as a app. Sorry, that will be as a app, and then the actions, and then after that actions, that will be as a 45. So that will be as a 45, and that is our stateful guard, hash, validations. Everything is ready made. Here you don't need to do anything. Okay, so here you don't need to do anything. Perfect. So here I updated that part. That is our respect to JSON, two factory true, the remember token. So everything will be just like that same. So here I added both of these, and only I updated that namespace. So here I only updated namespace for the redirect to factory authenticate, and also attempt to authenticate, because of all both of these actually using for our this one. That means that is actually our that is stateful guards, right? So that is actually both of these using this interface. So for the reasons here, make that sure you add both of these into the action in our main application 45 area. I simply add both of these. Perfect. So right now we don't need this. I click as a save all. Now I close it. So now we have to add some of the another step. We have to create some of the middleware, and also we have to update our providers. If you go to that our providers into the route service providers, you can see by default that is actually providing this home, that is our dashboard, right? So this home that is one of the constant. So here also we have to update it. So better to continue this process in our next video. I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.